sure this is meant for you. This is something that I wish I had a little bit more clarity about when I was trying to figure out what God wanted me to do with my life. And I want to share with you three ways that I was able to get more clear and that you could get more clarity for your life if these things work for you because they work for me. Real quick, just gonna run through them. First one is okay, that's the fridge making ice. First one is clarity comes through creating. Lots of times, as visionaries, as creatives, as thinkers, as progressive people who want to make change in the world, um, our first reflex is to think, to process, to strategize, to plan. And yes, there's room for that, there's space for that in lots of areas, but ultimately, you're going to get the most clarity from creating because you get to work out all the things that you realize that you don't want to do, things that you don't like about the process, things that you might not be as good at as you think you are, or things that you realize that you're good at that you didn't know that were strengths of yours. And this only comes from doing the thing. Also, you have to become the person who can do the thing. And through the process of doing the thing, you get more clear about who you are as an individual. And not only that, you learn how to show up as that individual on a consistent basis. So clarity comes from creating. You would never be able to think your way into clarity. You're going to have to create your way into clarity. Now, think it through, but make sure you're constantly putting your hand to the plow, doing the thing, creating the art, writing the book, producing the podcast, shooting the film, whatever it is that's on your heart, building the nonprofit, starting the initiative, making that change at your job, whatever it is, keep creating because that's where the clarity comes from. It doesn't come from thinking, it doesn't come from planning, it doesn't come from strategy, it comes from creating, it comes from doing. Now, I mentioned consistency. That's the second one. Clarity comes from consistency. Lots of times we don't get clarity because we don't give ourselves enough time to get clarity. We're not consistent enough to stick something through to actually get the revelation that we need to have the clarity that we want. So when you're creating, create consistently. Show up consistently. This is where you give yourself time to see patterns, recognition of themes, revelations about who you are, who you want to become, because you're consistently showing up in that way. Lots of times we just cut it short. We don't follow through to the end. And before we could get to that revelation, before we could get to that crossing point, that bridge, that place of awareness, we stop. And we stop just 3 feet short of gold, where we say, I have that aha moment. Oh snap! This is my lane. This is the hybrid mix of my gifts and talents and the things that God has placed in my life for me to do. If you're just now getting in, we're talking about three ways that you can get more clarity in your life. I'm sharing the three ways that work for me. First one was clarity comes through creating. You can't think your way into full clarity. You got to create your way into clarity. You get more clarity by doing the thing over and over again because you're clear on what you can do, what you can't do, what you like to do, what you don't like to do, the processes that work, the processes that may have more friction. All these different things come from creating. The second one is consistency, not just creating the thing once, not just creating it twice, creating it over and over because you get to recognize patterns, you get to recognize themes, you get to recognize things about the process that only come from sticking with the process. And over time, you refine. A wonderful quote that I love is perfection is not from thinking of what else you can add, but not being able to take anything else away. So like perfection comes through subtraction. It's a refining process. And you have that refining process by being consistent, showing up, coming up to the batter's plate over and over and over again and swinging. The third one and the last one is clarity comes from coaching. You do not have to experience everything in order to learn what you need to learn. Lots of times, you can learn from other people's mistakes. You can learn from other people's success. You can learn from other people's failures. You can learn from other people's triumphs. Getting a coach. I don't really like to use the word coach because the market has become saturated with so-called coaches, and it's a lot of people who are really kind of just in it to make a buck, and it's tarnishing the name. But if you actually find like a really good coach, like just how if you find a really good therapist, or if you find a really good barber or a really good mechanic, they're invaluable. Find people who are doing what you want to do at a level that you want to do it, and learn from them. I paid for a ton of coaching in my life, and it has exponentially increased my learning rate because I didn't have to fail through it myself, experience it myself in order to get the lesson. Get yourself in rooms. This does not just have to be one-on-one coaching. This could be getting coached from books. This could be I've gotten coached by people who are long dead. Getting coached by people who are mentors in your workspace, or getting coached by people who are making content on YouTube, educational content creators, or investing in a program, a certification, or getting a one-on-one coach in whatever area that you're trying to excel in. I've done all of them. I'm still doing all of them. To this day, I have coaches that I work with because it helps you see outside the frame. Lots of times, we can't see what someone else sees because we're inside the frame, but they're outside the frame, and they can give you clarity that you never would have got on your own. I'm telling you, you're slowing yourself down in so many ways. I had to learn this the hard way. You're slowing yourself down in so many ways by not getting help, by not getting expertise and insight beyond yourself. It's thinking that, oh, it's okay, I could work it out. I've done it all myself in the past. I got the information, I could work it out myself. Yeah, you got the information, but every hero needs a guide, right? You never see a story, a movie without the hero running into somebody who can make them the hero who saves the day, right? Uh, Poe and Kung Fu Panda needed Master Shifu. Karate Kid needed Mr. Miyagi. Luke Skywalker needed Yoda or Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like the hero has what it takes, but they need to go through the training, the expertise of the guide, of a coach, of a mentor, in order for them to ultimately become the person who could do the thing that they were called to do. And that's the three things I want to like just put into your brain. Like these help get clarity for your life, and clarity creates speed. Lots of times we procrastinate because we don't have clarity. Lots of times we lollygag around because we don't have clarity. Lots of times we have suffer from indecision because we don't have clarity. Lots of times we lack confidence and consistency because we don't have clarity. So if you want to get clarity, try these three things. Clarity comes from creating, clarity comes from consistency, clarity comes from coaching. I hope this was helpful to you guys. I know it was helpful to me, and I just wanted to share. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I have also a a free group for people who are like-minded visionaries who are trying to make impact and influence with their ideas, insights, and influence. I mean, impact and income with their ideas, insights, and influence. Who want more clarity? It's called Visionpreneur School. I will put the link in the description, and you guys can get in there to be around other like-minded individuals. We meet every Wednesday live on Zoom. There are plenty of courses and classes in there for free that I have given and other people have given. So like to help you with your information acquisition as well. So it's at buildyourvisionpodcast.com/community, or you could just go to the link in the description. Hope this was helpful to you guys. Creating, consistency, coaching. This is how you can get more clarity. It helped me. I hope it can help you. Peace.